came up like this on me. He was like, should I hit him? Should I hit him? So I was like, hit me then. So bam, he hit me.
Yeah, like Memphis Grizzly John Morant.
Grizzly John Morant, yeah.
So grown man just hit you in the face. Like, we're about to have to arrest John Morant.
We have not talked about John Morant on this channel for quite some time, and what a great day to talk about him, because it seems like he is finally about to get his revenge, and I honestly didn't expect him to take this route. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. We are on the grind to 800,000 subscribers after passing 700K recently, and now that we get all that out of the way, cue the intro. Some of the green slips you guys have been sending me is crazy. Like $1,250 off of a $250 slip, or $1,500 off of a $150 power play. We've been making bank off of our basketball picks, bro. March Madness was a huge success, and believe me, we're about to ramp it up for the NBA playoffs. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use my promo code microphone, and they'll match your first deposit up to $100 instantly. After that, just follow me on Instagram. I post all of my picks onto my Instagram story for free, and we can start making money off of these picks together. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody? I've been reading your comments, and I know that you don't want me to give you a summary of every single thing that's occurred with John Morant, because we've already covered that in previous videos. So if you don't know everything that went on, there are like 4 different cases that made John Morant not necessarily look like the greatest human being. One being an incident with a bodyguard in the mall where he pulled up to defend his mom. Another one being an incident between one of his friends and the security at an Indiana Pacers game where the Indiana Pacers guard said he saw a red laser trailing on him. Of course, there's the famous incident where he went on Instagram Live and showed off his gun. And then the case that we're covering here, and probably the most important one, was when a 17-year-old kid accused John Morant of attacking him at his own home. And ever since this lawsuit came out, there's been a lot of details coming out. So the original report about this lawsuit was John Morant was sued for being allegedly involved in the attack of a minor during a basketball game in July at his Tennessee home. Suit was filed in Shelby County in September, and court records show the case has since been sealed. But we've learned that it all stems from a July 26 incident at John Morant's residence in Tennessee. According to police documents, a 17-year-old who filed the lawsuit on September 9 told cops that he was playing in a pickup basketball game with Morant at the house when the two got into a verbal altercation. The plaintiff, according to the doc, said that the argument became heated and he threw a basketball at Morant, accidentally hitting him in the face. Kind of funny because like he's saying,
I got really mad at John Morant, so I threw a basketball at him and it accidentally hit him in the face.
The teenager would then say that the Grizzlies point guard then approached him, put his chin on his shoulder, and asked a bystander, should I do it to him? The teen says Morant then struck him with a closed fist, knocking him to the ground, essentially punching him. Now, since then, more details would come out. First was the fact that apparently John Morant punched this kid multiple times. The 17-year-old said Morant then continued sticking him while on the ground and claims another man jumped in and began hitting him as well. Officers in the dock say that they noted the teenager had a large knot on his head. In the docks, cops say that Morant told them that he did strike the teenager, but insisted that he was acting in self-defense. Morant said that the plaintiff threw the ball at him intentionally during the argument, and then began to approach him as if he wanted to fight. Police say Morant also told them that his brother was involved in the altercation as well, but the basketball player did not name the man. Both parties, according to the docs, said that the fight was broken up by spectators shortly after it began. Morant told officers the teenager made verbal threats stating that he'd light his house up. As he was being escorted off the property, Morant advised that he and his family were put in fear by the statement. Morant's childhood friend Devontae Pack, who was involved in the Indiana Pacers controversy as well with the Memphis Grizzlies, was involved in this as well. So ever since then, a lot has come out. Primarily, and this is probably one of my favorite new laws that has passed, we got police body cam footage of the kid's testimony, and it's pretty wild. I mean, it starts with the police actually quite literally crapping themselves once they understand that the individual that is being accused of what's going on is John Morant. Watch.
You're talking about like basketball player John Morant.
Basketball player.
Okay, like Memphis Grizzly John Morant.
Grizzly John Morant, yeah.
So a grown man just hit you in the face.
Now, it's even crazier because they come to the realization that this might end in them having to arrest John Morant.
Like, we're about to go have to arrest John Morant.
Like a month and a half, and now I've seen you twice.
What's up, buddy?
This is bitch. Talking about John Morant.
Yeah,
Lost by John Morant.
Yeah, he got beat the shit out of by John Morant at his house. Like the Memphis Grizzlies player.
Yeah, I know who John Morant is.
Yeah, so
And then I think the most important part, and I think this is why I love this new law so much, we could literally look at the kid as he is telling the police what happened and try to determine for ourselves whether or not he's lying based upon his micro expressions. I don't know if anyone's good at that, but we could try.
And a friend. Yeah, they jumped.
why?
This, I think, because we was talking. His dad. He didn't want to take a lightly on him. It was like just because that's him, don't take a lightly on him. So we playing competitive, talking trash to each other.
Yeah.
Basketball players too. So you check up the ball. So say you like this, or we can. Let's sit the ball down right here.
Yeah.
Check up. You got to get it. He kicked the ball on my leg. The ball go all the way over here. Somebody hit the ball. Okay, I'm like this. Check up. And I throw it to his. No, just stand right there. I throw it to his leg like that. Okay. Then he picked up the ball. And threw it hard as he can.
Straight at you.
Straight at him. Caught him. Threw it right back at him.
Yeah.
Then put the ball down. Came up like this on me. He was like, should I hit him? So I was like, hit me then. So bam, he hit me.
Yeah.
He went back. So I'm like this. I tried to swing. No. Then his friend come over there, hit me, fell on the ground, and they just started coming to me.
Like while you were laying on the ground, they were still hitting you?
Yeah, they were still hitting me.
Okay.
Like the next 20 seconds. They're still.
And you just get up and leave?
Yeah, I was. Everybody was holding me back.
He's got a big old goose egg on the back of his head.
So it's a pretty crazy clip. I'm very thankful that we have the opportunity to actually go more in depth on this, because before we just had to picture how it went down. Now we could actually see the young man telling us what happened. Now, before we even continue, please let me know in the comment section down below. Do you believe the kid? Do you believe that what the kid is saying is the truth? Or do you think he's trying to get a bag from John Morant? Do you think this is consistent with the behavior that John Morant was accused of in the past? Whose side are you on in this particular instance? Because on one hand, you could go out and say that this kid is just trying to get a bag from a man that recently got paid a $194 million contract. On the other hand, you could say that John Morant's behavior has been suspect recently. He has a series of events that make him look like a fake gangster. So let me know in the comment section what you think, as this is where the story gets even crazier. Typically in this instance, you would see the man that has almost $200 million of money settle with the young man that is accusing him of assault, but it seems like John Morant isn't backing down. And I believe at this point, the reason why he's not backing down is because this did some considerable harm to his reputation, and that's not a bold take at all whatsoever. John Morant's reputation took a huge hit from this incident and the other incidents that we mentioned. He went from being one of the most marketable stars in the NBA, and by the way, he still is. He has the Powerade sponsorship. He is Nike's new golden boy after they severed ties with Kyrie Irving. So in that sense, it doesn't seem like it's hurt him that much, but definitely his reputation has taken a hit. So the reason why we're making this video is John Morant is out for revenge. He is filing a countersuit against the teenager and alleges slander and assault after the pickup game that has gone wrong. This is wild because this pretty much blows up the story even more, as opposed to just settling and trying to move on from it. At this point though, John Morant has nothing to lose, because this is going to be hanging over his head for quite some time. I mean, historically, unfortunately, when these unfortunate circumstances occur, people don't tend to forget. The late great Kobe Bryant's greatest detractors still bring up the Colorado incident when they want to discredit him as a human, which I'm not necessarily going to go into that, but you guys get my point. So according to this suit, this is what's going down. John Morant is countersuing the teenager who accused him of assault during a pickup basketball game at the Memphis Grizzlies star's home, according to a Shelby County Circuit Court filing made Wednesday. The filing's over 100 pages in length, and says that Morant is the victim of slander, battery, and assault, citing 16 different headlines and various social media posts. Morant's attorneys say that the 23-year-old is asking for unspecified compensatory damages for harm to his career. I would say that this kid alone did damage Ja Morant's career, but we know that's not the truth. There's a series of events that damaged Ja Morant's reputation. If it was this one incident, I would side with Ja Morant, but dude, you literally posted a video on your story with a gun. You knew what you were doing, come on now. But regardless, this is what the suit is saying. The repetition and amplification of counter-defendants' lies spread like wildfire. The teenager Josh Holloway sued him over an altercation that occurred last summer. In March, the Washington Post reported that Holloway told the police that Morant punched him 12 or 13 times during a basketball game at the point guard's house. He claimed that Morant and a friend hit him so hard it left a large knot on the side of his head. He also alleged that after the assault, Morant went into his home and re-emerged with his hand on a gun. This is my issue with what Morant's claiming. It's the fact that that last sentence, Morant going into his home and re-emerging with his hand on a gun, was something that I had trouble believing. If you go into my first video on this situation, you would notice that I was leaning towards Ja Morant's side. I was convinced that this young man was just searching for a bag, and you guys helped me in check for that. But after seeing the video of him posting a story of him going on Instagram Live and showing a gun, I could actually believe that this happened. Now, these are all allegations, you know? I'm just telling you what I think based off of what it's saying, and I could be wrong. We all are just trying to form our own conclusions based off of what is being said. So let's continue. Morant's countersuit says that he holds pickup games for talented young players at his family home as part of his quote-unquote investment in Memphis, aiding the reputation his lawyers say that he has worked to build. Probably these false allegations were meant to make up for the fact that the counter-defendant and not Mr. Morant started a fight and threatened to use a gun. In the filing, Morant's attorneys allege that Holloway, apparently frustrated during the game, threw the ball at Mr. Morant and intentionally hit him in the face. So here's the one consistency. We all agree, and both parties agree, that a basketball was thrown at Ja Morant and Ja Morant got hit in the face. And this part's really funny in my opinion. Getting hit in the face with a basketball hurts, the filing says. For a professional point guard like Mr. Morant, an injury to the eyes or nose could be career-ending. Getting hit in the face with a basketball is like one of the most WTF moments that could ever happen to someone. I mean, it always happens out of nowhere. You're like, whoa, what the hell happened? It's usually unexpected as well. Now, according to the document, Holloway allegedly then balled up his fists and walked aggressively towards Mr. Morant as if to attack him. Counter-complaint alleges that Holloway also changed his story, citing the teenager's claim that he was kicked in his original complaint in September. The allegation does not appear in an amended complaint in March. On top of that, the filing claims Holloway has admitted to share that he made threats to light Morant's house up like a fireworks show. It also includes a Snapchat post, which appears to be from the teenager. It says, Ja Morant a bitch, and if I catch his ass, it's up, and I'm on that tonight. In addition to claiming that Holloway lied to the police about Morant flashing a weapon, the filing alleges that more lies were leaked to the media. According to Morant's attorneys, whoever spoke to the Washington Post broke a court order for confidentiality. Now, the article closes by saying Morant served an 8-game suspension as a result of the strip club incident in Denver, and the Post details other allegations against Morant in a separate story. The instance of Morant flashing a gun in the club while on Instagram Live is unrelated. I don't know if I agree with that. I think that's what did the most harm to his reputation, and that was of his own volition. That's his own fault. That's not this kid's fault. I mean, kudos to Ja Morant for trying to take this head on and not backing down, and kudos to him for getting into therapy and for getting back onto the court and focusing on the game of basketball. At the end of the day, I really think that if there's anything an athlete could take away from this situation, it's impossible not to get into these types of situations. But if you're a superstar athlete that's making almost $200 million in their latest contract, and you're getting into these situations, there's been like 3 or 4 times where this type of situation has occurred in Ja Morant's life. Why don't you just get a couple of security guards to just follow you around? If someone's bothering your mom, send a security guard there. If someone's bothering you or a kid is getting aggressive with you, have the security guard back you up. You don't need to go up to him, especially if he's throwing basketballs at you. Have the security just escort him off of the premises. At the end of the day, Ja Morant's a young man, and I'm sure he's learned from this, and I don't expect him to have an issue like this again. And let me know in the comment section down below, whose side are you on, given all the new info that's come out. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.
Lucas.